guys, welcome. It's Thursday.
It's
1
Thursday.
o'clock.
It's opposite Saxes.
Yep.
Getting closer and closer to the holidays.
Yep.
Starting to get chilly out there. And that was really where we were at for today. We were talking about are we prepared for what's ahead?
This doesn't.
Don't tell me
Winterizing does not thrill me.
I know, but don't say you don't prepare, because for the last couple of weeks, what have you been doing? You've been going through the drawers and through your closet, and you're taking the sweaters and putting the sweaters over here and taking the summer clothes and moving them over
But
here.
I don't think of that as winterizing a house.
It's just like changing the clocks. Twice a year, you switch stuff around.
When I think winterizing, getting ready for the winter for the house, I think of taking the hoses off and bring them in.
But that's part
and stuff outside, what you have to do.
That's all part of what I titled prepping for winter.
I didn't realize my wardrobe was included.
Well, it is
discussion.
And you once the weather starts to snap a little, the leaves start falling off of the trees, you realize you don't need to have the shorts in the front of your closet anymore. You put those back and you bring out the sweatpants or the leggings and all, because you're going to be wearing more of that.
Well,
I take my long sleeve stuff, the short sleeve shirts, the golf shirts, those all go into the other closet.
I can't
start
do that.
switching that.
I need
as far
more
as
room,
wardrobe.
so I take it out. A lot of my winter things come the summertime. I'm taking them and putting them away in suitcases that I don't use,
right,
or under the bed in containers, and then I have the spring summer.
But that's what I'm talking about.
I wish I had them in my
is the last so many weeks we've started doing that. You also start thinking about just some of the other preparations that you have to do, like for instance calling the heating and air conditioning guys.
Right. Well, they call you. You don't.
Well, most of them do call you, but sometimes you just have to start thinking about now. You've got to make that appointment to have them come out, switch you over from air conditioning to heating, making sure the filters are all ready to go and that you're all ready. The other thing that I always have to do, even here in Texas, is to disconnect the hoses from the faucets outside and to cover up the faucets.
Right.
The other things you do, you go out and you buy an extra box or so of hefty garbage bags. Why? Because when the frost hits, you may have to cover up some of your plants and planters that you have in the yard. You also start to take the umbrella down out from the patio, and you get ready to cover up the patio furniture.
Last year, you told me we didn't have to put any garbage bags over any of the plants.
We didn't, and we didn't do it. And what happened? We had one of the coldest winters on record, and we ended up losing a bunch of plants. Unfortunately, they were the annual plants.
But we were smart.
We were.
We didn't replace them because the summer was getting so hot, and we had a couple of planned vacations, and we thought, are we going to be around to water them? And it's so hot, you're going to have to water them a lot more than previous
in our case too. Last winter we had a couple of terrible hailstorms.
Yeah, we did.
And the hailstorms did damage to the roof. It did damage to the fences. It did damage to the windows and the screens.
Yeah.
So
it was a mess.
We had to wait until all of that was repaired before you went back and upgraded your landscaping.
Which
it never got to that because it got well into the summer and the 105 day after day after day. So we really.
So look at that. Now you don't have to use any garbage bags over your plants. You don't have to pull out any plants. Isn't that great?
I'm talking to the audience.
I know, but I'm thinking what we have to do.
Hey, I'm working here.
I know, but I'm thinking about what we have to do.
Well, you're thinking about what we have to do, but we're also being informative to those that are watching and listening to the program.
That's right. Be informative.
We want them to be ready for it too.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Well, the other stuff is when you go to the grocery store, don't you start buying more winter kind of things, like you check the pantry to make sure you have enough soup, because you know you're going to consume more soup in the winter than you do in the summertime. And maybe there's other things you want to stock up a little bit more on for the winter time. You're not going to be maybe buying as much ice cream, so you're buying the more stuff for the coffee and the hot
They
chocolate
say it's going to be
rather than the
a
iced tea.
tough winter with the flus
It's going to be
and the COVID.
well, so then
So
that's
we
the other
do need
thing.
more soup or more medications in the house.
And you also prepared
More
with
aspirin.
flu shots or pneumonia
Yes,
shots.
yes.
And that kind of, so there is this mode that you get into twice a year. And right now we're starting to get into that winter mode, making sure, do you have salt in your garage just in case you get a day of ice and you need to spread some of that salt out on the driveway.
If it freezes here, we're staying home and we're not going anywhere, because the last time we put salt down,
it ate up
the sidewalk, and now we have to have new sidewalks put in.
Well, we don't have to have new sidewalks put in. We have to either
we do
patch it up a little bit or just forget about it.
No, not forget about it. But we're not getting any salt this year, and I'm not putting down kitty litter either.
No, because there's too many kitties in the neighborhood anyway.
No.
Now,
just stay home.
But
till it melts.
Speaking of the kitties, you also go over to Pet Mart and maybe get an extra sweater or a cover up. Although
boots,
I think Shayna, that's what you wanted to get, is you want to get
tried.
Shayna boots.
She didn't like them.
I can't. Yeah, I just don't see it. But you reach into your storage bin, whatever, and you get out the sweaters and the things for the animals,
the Afghans.
You get the Afghans to put on the couch, so that in the evening when you're watching TV, you also make sure to check your fireplace, because if you're going to start to use your fireplace, whether it's wood burning or it's gas, you want to make sure that if the flue is open or shut. So those are all part of the things that go into preparing you for the winter,
Mr.
right?
Homemaker here.
Well, did you realize that there were so many things that you had to do to get ready for the winter?
I really didn't want to think about it.
No, I mean, other than it's a little chilly in here, so go get a sweatshirt or put on an extra shirt or whatever.
You didn't mention the windows.
The windows.
Some people do wash the windows and clean out the windowsills and stuff before winter.
Well, yeah, but
you don't have to do that for winter.
Yeah, that to me is more of part of the getting your house ready for the spring summer season. Like the spring cleaning handle.
You could do it then too.
That's when you go into the closet and you take out the sweaters and the heavy stuff and put that away and bring back out your shorts and your t-shirts.
So do you only clean the windows once a year?
I think it's reasonable that you could do that.
You're wrong. No, they get dirty.
If it's going to snow and whatever in the winter time,
there's spots all over the window.
It's just like the one thing that's always hard to judge is how often do you rake the leaves?
Oh,
because some people, in fact, there's several of them in our neighborhood.
They never raked them last year.
They ain't going to rake their leaves until January, when the last leaf falls off the last tree.
Rake them. They waited for them to blow to everybody else's yard.
You check the weather forecast first, and you see, in a couple of days the winds are supposed to get up to 20 miles an hour. Let the neighbors.
But we used to do it when we had our house in Chicago. Remember, and we had a much larger lot, and we would rake a couple times before winter set in. And now, maybe because we're older or we have a smaller lot, we just do it once at the very end.
Well, once or twice, but
we just do it at the very end.
A lot of the leaves we get are our neighbors' leaves
that
blow into our yard. But it's the same thing like for those of our friends that are still up north. When do you go out and shovel snow? If you go out and shovel snow today and there's snow on the forecast for the weekend, are you going to just wait till after the weekend and shovel it once, or do you get out and do it more than once?
It's probably not safe to wait. You probably want to get to it when you can, as soon as you can.
Well, especially
could be a layer of ice underneath it.
especially if you have to go out to your mailbox to get your mail.
Yeah,
You
that's
end up
right.
wanting to
Yeah,
to
no, you
sweep or
should.
shovel several times in order to
Yes,
make the
'cause
path
yes, you want to
available.
make the path available for the Amazon guy that comes 3 times a week.
That's true. Or the
Or
pizza
the
delivery
Grubhub,
guy.
yeah, or the Grubhub guy, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't take a chance of them falling. Boy,
Yeah.
we'd be out of luck.
Yeah, you don't want to leave your hot food out on the curb by the
No,
the street because you couldn't make it
no,
to your door.
no.
But it is a process.
It is a process. You're
Is a
right.
pro.
And I think you should get started.
As soon as we say goodbye,
Yeah,
which is probably about now.
we've done a few things, not a lot. There's
Yeah.
more to do.
Yeah, and then and I hope that maybe what we've started saying kind of jogged your memory, and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I better get out a piece of paper and a pencil and start making a list of the things that I got to do. Invariably, every year you end up forgetting something that you weren't prepared for.
And you got to go out and buy those gifts.
Well, but the problem with it is sometimes, like if you wait to get the salt for your driveway until you get an ice storm, where are you going to go get the salt?
Yeah.
Because everybody's out of it.
Well, here in Texas, that's because we don't have any salt trucks. And so everybody runs to Home Depot or Walmart or wherever to get their salt, and it goes quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, here you have to. Chicago, Detroit, New York, I think they have plenty of that.
Yeah. Another tip. Maybe get a couple of extra packages of toilet paper and paper towels, because when it gets cold and everybody realizes they can't get out when they do get out, they hoard everything and you can't find toilet paper.
So you're saying to hoard it now?
Well,
that's what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Grab a little extra now.
Just like I did during the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, and also the price goes up too when there's an increased need. And so get your soup now rather than in January when you really want it. Now it's,
maybe some people make it.
Well, some people do make it, especially if you get snowed in.
Yeah.
Then you better have the ingredients so that you can make your own.
Well, don't say we haven't warned you.
That's right. We have, both of us, opposite Saxes.
Good luck. We hope it's
on the same page with this one. Get ready for the fall and the winter.
We hope it's an easy one.
Yep.
For everybody.
And stay warm. Okay. And come back again next week. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.